On Sunday morning, a horrifying attack unfolded at a church in Michigan. A man drove his truck straight into the chapel of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Grand Blanc Township. He then opened fire on worshipers with an assault rifle and set the building on fire. At least 4 people were killed and 8 others were injured. The gunman, a 40-year-old former Marine and Iraq War veteran, later died in a shootout with police. The FBI has now taken over the investigation, calling it an act of targeted violence. This church, located about 60 miles from Detroit, is the latest place of worship to suffer from America's ongoing gun violence crisis. Over the years, churches, synagogues, temples, and mosques have all been attacked. Families come together for prayer, peace, and community, but too often violence enters those sacred spaces. One churchgoer described hearing a massive bang, followed by the doors bursting open. The attacker's pickup truck, decorated with 2 American flags, crashed into the front of the chapel. Seconds later, he began firing into the congregation. Witnesses said people rushed to help the elderly and shield children, but then flames began spreading inside the chapel. The gunman had started a fire, quickly turning the sacred space into an inferno. Thick black smoke poured into the sky as terrified worshipers tried to escape. Police officers arrived within just 30 seconds of the first 911 call. They engaged the gunman in the parking lot, and 8 minutes later, he was killed. But the fire continued to rage, engulfing the red brick building and consuming its tall white spire. Firefighters battled the flames for hours as survivors stood outside in shock. Medical teams rushed to treat the wounded, who ranged in age from just 6 years old to 78. Many of the doctors and nurses caring for them were themselves members of the LDS Church. They found themselves treating friends, neighbors, and even family. One doctor said, not only were they victims, they were also first responders. By Sunday night, grief had overwhelmed the community. Survivors gathered at a reunification center, holding each other and crying as smoke continued to rise from the destroyed chapel. The building, once a symbol of peace and faith, was declared a total loss. Investigators believe the gunman deliberately set the fire, using gasoline or another accelerant. Some explosive devices may have also been found. Authorities are now examining his past and looking for a motive. Early reports suggest he may have harbored hatred toward members of the Mormon faith. Neighbors describe the scene with heartbreak. A beautiful white chapel surrounded by green trees, now reduced to blackened ruins. One woman said, "There's so much hate in this world. I just don't understand it." As the community mourns, this tragedy has left behind a haunting question. How can places of worship meant to be sanctuaries of peace continue to face such unimaginable violence?